Obviously, these all go hand in glove. You cannot be world-class in safety without being world-class in teamwork, and you can't be world-class in teamwork without world-class leadership. So we'll hit on all of these metrics as I go through the program. The way I want to kick off the program is to bring you along vicariously on a space shuttle launch. So for the next few minutes, I want everybody to suspend disbelief, pretend that we're all astronauts. We're going to ride a space shuttle into orbit. Rest in our pressure suits, and then around 3 hours before liftoff, we'll walk from the crew quarters, climb into the crew van, drive to the launch pad, take the elevator to the cockpit level, exit that, walk across the access arm into toward the cockpit. And I'll tell you, when you're making that walk, you're going to feel every beat of your heart in your throat. It'll be choking you. We get dressed in our harnesses, crawl into the cockpit. Technicians will strap us to the vehicle. They'll close the hatch. The access arm will be retracted, and we will be left alone. And while we're awaiting launch, we're going to be in the grips of two fundamental emotions, one of which is fear, gut fear. You will fear for your life while you're out there, but at the same time that fear is on you, you're going to be boundlessly joyful, because for most astronauts, it truly is a lifetime quest to make this flight, and with that at hand, we're going to be overwhelmed with joy. Okay, at T-minus 6 seconds, the 3 liquid engines come to life. They are checked by computers. Assuming they pass all of their checks at T0, the hold-down bolts blow, the solid rocket boosters ignite, and we're slapped into our seats with a force of about 2 times gravity, 2 Gs, as the rocket leaps from the launch pad. Now, for the first 2 minutes, it's a very rocky, noisy ride, a lot of shock waves forming on the vehicle. You're getting rocked around, these boosters next to you roaring away, so a lot of noise and shaking. That continues for about 2 minutes and 12 seconds and then ends with the separation of the boosters. At that point, you hear a loud bang. You see a whip of fire across the windscreens as these boosters were pyrotechnically separated. And now we continue into space on the 3 liquid-fueled engines, but from here on up, it was glass, smooth, and quiet. Not a ripple of noise, not a ripple of vibration. The only way you could tell you're moving, besides looking at your instruments, were the G-forces slowly rising in your body, and those would ultimately stabilize at 3 Gs, 3 times the force of gravity. 8.5 minutes up, the autopilot shut off the engines. The gas tank was empty. It was jettisoned to burn up in the atmosphere like a giant meteor. And the only thing remaining now headed to orbit was the winged vehicle. We called that the orbiter. And now we're on our way to the International Space Station, where we're going to have the great good fortune of rendezvousing with the true heroes of America's space program, Sandra Bullock and George Clooney. They got up there before we did. Okay, I wanted to share that narrative with you to set you up for this question. If we had not been pretending, if this had been for real, if all of you truly had been tied to 4 million pounds of propellant, what type of a team would you want out there holding your life in their palm? Clearly, in situations like this, where your life is on the line, and hey, I just described the everyday work environment for you folks, a team that is world-class in safety behind you. And teams get to be world-class in safety when every single team member is living safety values. And there's a lot of safety values out there, but there are 5 that I want to discuss with you in this program, because I think they have overarching importance to the success and safety of all teams everywhere. One of which is taking each other's backs, to guard ourselves collectively, everybody watching out for each other. Another is guarding against normalization of deviance. I'll define that term here momentarily. Another is owning our responsibilities, because in the end, we're going to be accountable, and we want to be accountable to the good. And finally, we all want to be engaged in a process of continuous self-improvement, certainly with teamwork, leadership, and safety, but frankly, all personal and professional metrics. Some time now on this very important value right here, and that is guarding against normalization of deviance. That's a term some of you probably are familiar with, but just in case you aren't, I'll give you a definition. I first read about this in Diane Vaughan's excellent book about the Challenger tragedy. But basically, it's repeatedly deviating from safety best practices until that behavior becomes your new normal or the collective team's new normal.